Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sign of the Times. I'm Bishop David Alston, and thank you for joining us today. This beautiful Thursday. You trapped in the house. You was like you being somewhere you don't know what day. I had to think it's today, Wednesday, especially with the holiday Monday. Wednesday is it Sat? It's Sunday. Every day is like Sunday after a while. Hey, I'm just glad to be with you. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm excited about you allowing us to come into your homes, your place of business, wherever you are, riding, just chilling, walking. Some of you may be jogging, just look, whatever it is you're doing. I want to thank you. It means so much to me from the bottom of my heart that you've allowed me to join you today and talk about signs of the time. As I say every day, make sure that when you get out, make sure you protect yourself. We have your gloves if you have them. Make sure you have your hand sanitizer. Don't inhale it, but spray it. Do whatever you have to do to make sure you're safe. Put your mask on, protect others as well as yourself. I have a mask here every day. I don't know where it is. So and if I don't find my mask, I'll just pop my gloves on. I'm just in a good mood today because someone went to sleep last night and slept to the other side of life. And the fact that I'm still here, although we're still trying to get through this pandemic, it is still good to just be here. And we bless God for another day. I'm excited. I mentioned earlier on social media that I promise you today's show is going to be one of the best ever. I just feel it. We've had a wonderful week. Pastor Natasha Lewis joined us on Tuesday, and we talked about mental health. Yesterday, I'm telling you, Minister Kim Richardson just blew us out of the water with the conversation about life and going forward. And I'm expecting an even greater show on today. We're going to make it through this pandemic. We're going to make it through all the tension that's going on around the world. We're just going to make it. Listen, I don't care, my friends, how dark days have been. I don't care what you've been struggling with and going through. I believe that God has strategically set you up for the next level and for the next blessing. It's right in front of you. All you have to do is reach out and receive it. Listen, I want to share this with you, and we're going to get to our guests. Sometimes in life, we have a tendency of giving advice to others. It's time for us to live by that advice. Drive and go forward. Don't look back. Listen, before we get to our guests, and I'm excited, I'm chomping at the bit, I want to ask you if you wouldn't mind checking out your boy's project. I've mentioned it yesterday. It's entitled, the project is entitled, it's my book that I wrote recently, which is entitled Son of Another Mother. Son of Another Mother, in which I deal with the struggles of life. I deal with the things that I had to go through as a young man, being adopted, knowing you're adopted, but yet you struggle with, who am I? What is my real identity? Am I an Austin? Am I a Bright? As you can tell in my name, I merged the two names together. I don't know which mother do I owe my allegiance to, the one that pushed me into life or the one that pushed me through life. And in the book, I talk about some of the things that I went through. I even shared some recent details that I found out about my childhood that had me in tears. Every adopted child, every foster child needs to read this book so that they can know and get an understanding that you may not owe your allegiance to one person. It can be many. So my friends, go to Lulu. Lulu, I got a friend. I'm in a good mood today. I got a friend named Lulu. Lulu, yeah, Lulu, Miss Neal. Work with her at Dabney Elementary School in Vance County. Linda Neal. I'm going to tag her in this and let her know I gave her a shout out. We call her Lulu. Go to Lulu. It's not her website, but lulu.com and search David Austin and look for Son of Another Mother. Also have another book that's currently on that website that is a self-help book. It is entitled No Pain, No Gain. No Pain, No Gain. So both of those books are on lulu.com. Go to that website. And when you go to that website, I believe that these books will be a blessing to you or other people in your life. All right, my friends, listen, I do want to handle some business, and we handle some business. After we come back from the business, we're going to get to our special guest of the day. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen, especially you ladies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for all of your beauty supply, you can see I've been working while I've been pandemic sized. That's a new word. Write that down. Pandemic size. I just made up a word, pandemic size. While I've been pandemicized in my domicile, I've been working and supplying things for you. Go to austinbeauty.com for all of your beauty needs. If you need the Brazilian hair, if you need lashes to block the shade so that, some of y'all, gentlemen, if you need clippers to look fresh, I don't worry about a barb. I hook myself up. If you need beard oil, some of you trying to get like me, as I said the other day, you'll never reach this perfection of a beard, but give it a try. Go to Austin. I'm telling you, I'm in a good mood because I have great expectations. If you don't have great expectations, nothing will come of it. I'm ready for my guest today. Uh, it must be life coach, super coach week. She's joining us all the way from the great city of Atlanta, Georgia. And she is a life coach. She goes by the name Coach T. I want you all to hit the like button and help me to welcome Miss TaNesha Mcauley to Signs of the Time. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me, Bishop Austin. It's an honor.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing down in Atlanta, and we're gonna get right into it because I'm gonna drill. I'm ready. I just want to talk. I guess yesterday must have fired me up because I'm ready.
Absolutely. Again, thank you so much for having me on your show. It's definitely an honor. As you said, I'm here in the great city of Atlanta, Georgia. But before moving here to this great city, I am from the great state of North Carolina.
Okay.
I'm from a small town called Sanford, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And Sanford sits contiguous to like the Raleigh, Durham,
Mm-hmm.
Fayetteville, so we're in between the triangle and the triad.
Okay.
So Sanford is kind of like the best of both worlds. So that's where I was born and raised there with my family. My parents and my brother, they're still back in North Carolina. I was introduced to Atlanta. I'm probably like a lot of other college students, HBCU students. We used to come to Atlanta to party.
Uh-huh.
I never in a million years imagined living here, but I came here at the time with my husband in 2012. He wanted to start his career here as an attorney. And I said, hey, let's go. I never thought I would be living in Atlanta. My dreams were actually to be in DC because I'm a federal government girl. So I was ready to be in DC working at the White House.
All right.
But, God had other plans for me. So I've been here since 2012. I love Atlanta. I've had nothing but great experiences here. Even with a couple of unfortunate things that occurred, God has remained good to me. So I've been here. I was able to. I don't like to even say that anymore, but early retirement because people start going like, wait a minute, you did what? But I stepped away from the traditional work sector. I was in leadership, and during my time in leadership, I've always had a passion for developing and helping other people grow. And as such, even prior to then, when I was in North Carolina, I was a therapist working in leadership roles. So my passion and my gift and what I've been called to do has always been to propel people into the next level of their life. And so I pursued a professional coaching program in which I became a licensed career and business coach. And I've been doing that for a long time. I'm known as the CPR coach. And
Okay.
sometimes people say CPR, like, and it's like, no, well, technically, in a way, CPR, but the areas of careers, purpose, and relationships.
Okay.
That's what the CPR represents. And so here I am today. I've started life over almost. Like I had one path that I was on, and then I came across another path, and I have been there. And I am allowing God to lead me as I go. Sometimes I don't understand. I'll be looking at God like, wait a minute, what we doing?
Uh-huh.
But nonetheless, I am Coach T.
All right.
Yeah.
Sanford, I've got a lot of friends. I spent a lot of time down in Sanford, and I know quite a few people in the big city of Sanford. I know I'm from Philly, so I guess, I did the same thing. You look up and you don't know how did I get here, but you're here now. And listen,
Absolutely.
I want to get into our conversation. My guest yesterday, I started talking about golf, and I was sitting around today, and I started thinking about how depressed I am because the weather here in Carolina is so it's raining. I can't play golf today, and I'm miserable.
Oh, wow.
I'm just twitching. But I thought about something while you were talking, because you're talking and you're going on and on. I started to just leave the screen because you just going at it. You just talking, and I thought about something with golf that I played the other day. Um, I was getting ready to hit the ball, and I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. I'm playing well. I'm having my one of my best games, and I look up at the last hole, and I'm about to hit the ball, and I notice that right in front of me is this pond.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, uh-oh, ponds and I don't have a good history. It's like, and I can hear the turtles and the fish in the pond saying, "Give it to me, give it to me." And I had to stand there and hit the ball. But before I hit it, I had to refocus my mind to think that, okay, I could do this. I all I have to do is just relax, stay calm, and do what I've been doing and imagine that the pond is not even there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that if you don't mind in life. How do you stay grounded when you're faced with a scary situation, a scary circumstances?
Absolutely. For me, faith is so important. I'm like, many that, watch your broadcast. I was raised in the church. That was one of the things that my family instilled in us was our faith. And my faith in God has been the anchor. But I do have to, put the disclaimer. You can be raised in church. You can, know God all you want to, but there can come a time where something can come in your life and it will have you questioning the very existence of God and your faith.
Right,
And
right.
so that for me has been a journey. I've learned so much, and it's during those times of things being scary that I've had the opportunity to learn God the more. And so for me personally, my faith in God, and also having a strong support system from your family and your friends, because that's going to be necessary. Because we're humans. We know that we believe and know that God is real, but sometimes we need that human touch. We need that, direct communication. So
Hmm.
those things, faith, family, and friends, the three F's.
Hmm. Well, what about, you said that, and I'm going back to my analogy of golf.
Hmm.
I stood there to hit the ball, and I'm not going to tell you what happened when I hit it. That's irrelevant. So don't worry about that. I'm not even going
Okay.
to tell you what happened when I hit it is not a part of this conversation. But
Okay.
before I hit it, I didn't say I have faith that God's going to allow me. I had to calm myself down. And I guess my question is how much of it is on us as opposed to us having faith in God. We know Him. How much of it is on us to? I hope that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. You know what, Bishop, I would say that 100%. And I know someone challenged that because, and let me put the disclaimer. I'm not a pastor, preacher. I don't, but I'm just going to talk about what I know. And
Uh,
I know what the Bible teaches me is that faith without works is dead. And
mhm.
that means we do have to put some action into it, because we have a responsibility. And in my experience in times where there have been my own golf course moments where I'm looking at this body of water and I'm trying to figure out how in the world, and when I've gone ahead and done it, I have been so amazed to see how that faith propelled me into what I was originally fearful of. So we do have to put forth, our own effort. And I'm here to say that I think if I can't say 100%, I'm going to say 95% of it is on us, because we're not going to know. Yeah, we can expect miracles. We can expect, God to send something out the sky. I don't know how practical that always is, but I know that whenever we take steps, whenever we take those steps and we, take action, you can surprise yourself. So
Right.
I would say it's a couple there.
Okay, well, I'm about to get in trouble, but probably by telling you what happened. What
Okay.
happens the next time I'm faced with water? I was I was ready, I guess I just shared with you what happened when I hit the ball. But what happens when I step up the next time I go play
Okay.
and that water, and I'm thinking, stay grounded, stay calm. And in
Yeah.
the back of my mind, I'm saying, but I was grounded and calm the last time and I didn't get the results because I might as well put it out there. Yeah, it had a mind of its own. Satan
Yeah.
got in that ball. We blame everything on the devil. The devil got in that ball. I'm gonna tell you, woo, I felt that. He got in that ball and just took, woo,
Mm.
took. My
That's how he
point
do.
is in
That's how
life,
he do.
sometimes in life, we do everything right. We have all of our strategies, and maybe we'll talk about strategies, and it still doesn't work. What happens when you come back and it's the same situation and you thought you had all the answers the last time, and now the results didn't match? What do you do this time?
You do it again. And that's where resiliency comes in at, because there's no guarantee, and I, again, in my own personal experience, I think we have to be extremely mindful when it comes to the things of God and faith, because we feel like, hey, I got faith, it's supposed to work out, but we don't know what God's plan is in the process. This could be used to develop us and build us to something greater. And we can't always give up. In school, when they would have relay races, they probably had a first, second, and third place.
Right.
Everybody can't get it. It's only three people that's going to get that third place. Do I no longer compete in the races? Absolutely. Because at some point, I believe that I am going to get one of those. But if I don't stay in the game, then I don't know if I'm going to win or not. So you
Mhm.
got to stay in the game. Every team doesn't win all of their games. I don't know if you were into sports, but I'm from North Carolina, so I'm representing my Panthers all day, whether Cam is there or not. You know, but you're not gonna know your strength or your abilities if you get out of the game. So you got to go back and do it again. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, Father. Okay. Okay.
Anyway, getting back to
Another topic.
getting back. How how important is it for you to surround yourself with people of like mind?
Whew. Let me tell you, I have seen so many times where like-minded people get together. I've seen the best and I've seen the worst. And I am a firm believer in that, where the two or three gather and all of that and coming together. Oh, I have had so many conversations with, you know, people who we've been on that same page, whether it's about elevating our finances, elevating the quality of our relationships. And when we start having those conversations, we literally begin to see the manifestation. I don't know if you've had that experience where you could be talking about something and then maybe a few days or maybe a few hours later you see it. And it's
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh my goodness." Imagine what it's like if we are around people and we're all on the same page, talking about the things that are positive, talking about things that are worthy, and building it. I mean, it's I can't, and I'm to the point where it almost feels like I'm allergic to negativity. I
Okay.
can't be in the presence of it too long. Like, it's nothing wrong with, airing our grievances, but at the end of the day, we got to start talking about solutions. And so keeping yourself surrounded with the right people is so imperative to, your life and where you're going in life.
How important is it to have a coach in your life, someone to, you talk about sports. I'm a football coach, and so I know that my players have the ability, they have the talent, but I'm the coach to organize things, to point out things that's correct or incorrect. I have a staff of coaches that I delegate authority to. How important is it to have a life coach?
Is critically important, because again, when we talk about the power of our words, and the Bible teaches us that, we'll just keep it really simple. The Bible talks about the power of our words. And so as a life coach, when you and I get together, I am interested in what is important and what matters to you,
Mhm.
those things that you want to accomplish and those things that you want to achieve. I'm listening to you, I'm listening with you, I'm listening for you. As a result, you and I begin to have dialogue in which we are talking about those things that are important. And what begins to happen, you begin to see those things manifest because we are keeping it before us.
Mhm.
And so, having a life coach is so many reasons that are there. But the one thing that I have found valuable for myself and for my clients, it almost serves as like an accountability partner. I'm here to hold you accountable and help you stay committed to what you put out there. If you come to me or if you come to your life coach with a goal and say, hey, this is what I'm looking to accomplish, everything that we are doing and saying is about accomplishing and achieving this. And at some point, it's going to become a habit because, the science shows that it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. And so you think about it, if you sign up as, with someone, a life coach or whatever the case may be, in those first 21 days, you're going to be living whatever it is that you're talking about because we are forming a routine. We're putting it in the atmosphere and we are putting it in writing and we're saying, look, this is where we're going right now. And I have not seen one client, and I kid you not, I haven't seen one client that has not been successful. And if they weren't, it wasn't because of a lack of what we were doing. They just weren't staying consistent with what we were putting out there. But
Mhm.
having a life coach is it's almost like, having your primary physician. You know,
Okay.
we need that. I
Mhm.
know the benefits of it, from having my own personal coach, and that person that's able to be there and stand for me, helping me see those gray areas that I
Right.
may be missing.
Mhm. Well, how many people would you say, because you used a term there that I actually wrote down that I was going to ask you about, the word goals. How many people do you think, if you're in Atlanta, so if you're in Atlanta, you come in contact with more people than even here in North Carolina in the Raleigh Durham area. How many people out of 100, if you pull them to the side and said, "What are your goals?" How many people you think would say, um, "I don't know, I don't have any goals," or I mean, how many people? I want to talk about being goal oriented because that's the first step to achieving something, is to have in mind what it is that you want to achieve.
hmm Out of the 100, I would say maybe 20 would,
That would have.
be able to, 20 people
Okay.
out of the 100 would be able to, list it out because that's generally how I introduce people to their first coaching session. And if I don't say, what are your goals? I say, what's your purpose? What is it that you were born to do? What is it that, wakes you up every morning and you're not doing? And, I have a lot of people say, whoa, wait a minute. I wasn't ready for that. I don't know.
Hmm.
And they know it's something and it intrigues them and it gets them interested because we all know that we're here for a purpose. We're
Hmm.
here for a purpose. We're not just here, just idly sitting around. We are here for a purpose.
Hmm. One of my favorite, I ask all of my guests this because I'm from Philly. I love the movie Philadelphia with Denzel Washington and Tom Hanks. And I ask every guest, every day, I ask in some form or another, I ask this question. Um, in the movie Philadelphia, Denzel Washington asks one of the witnesses, he says, "Explain it to me like I'm a 6 year old." In your voice, your view, explain it to me like I'm a 6 year old. That word that you just used, purpose. What is that?
Doing what you love and enjoy doing, if you didn't have to get paid for it, if you didn't have to get accolades for it, is whatever wakes you up. When you wake up in the morning, it's on your mind, it excites you. You feel like it's Christmas. You feel like, oh my goodness, like it excites you, it wakes you up. So whatever that is, when you think about it, and it doesn't matter what it is, if your purpose is to go out here and golf, hey, that's your purpose.
And to watch this, watch them things. That's my purpose.
I don't even recognize that symbol. I don't even know what thing that is.
It's
It
not a
looks
dirty.
like an
It's not a
eagle.
dirty bird. It's not a panther. It's an eagle.
I,
But isn't? Wouldn't you think? Would you think that our purpose, when you say wake up thinking what I have to do, would you think or assume that it would be my job that I go to every day?
it could be. And if that's the case, that's okay. Because I think sometimes people, when they hear purpose, they think that it's something so deep and so, exponential. But your purpose could be, whatever it is. If your purpose is, cleaning buildings, if you're a housekeeper, sometimes people hear the word purpose and think that it means a platform, or you got to be out here. People, we have to remember that it's the small things that matter. You can be impactful in anything. Even, again, I'll use your example, being on the golf course,
Hmm.
and being able to share your experience of looking out into the body of water and saying, oh my goodness, like this is a weak area for me, but I'm gonna do it anyway. If that is to inspire and encourage someone, if someone is moved by that, guess what? This is your purpose. If this is something that you can do and it glorifies God and it glorifies your life and it brings you peace, if whatever it is that you need, that's what it is. And so it doesn't matter if it's drawing, if it's coloring, if it's singing,
Right.
if it's coaching, it doesn't matter.
Right. You know, Doctor, I got to get all these his entire title right. Apostle Doctor Stephen Gardner, out
Okay.
in Phoenix, Arizona, made a comment. He said, "Whatever you are passionate about is the seedbed of purpose." Um, Wonderful statement. Now, my question to you: what happens when I look up and I've lost my passion for what I was passionate about? Does that mean that that's no longer my purpose? Does it mean that something has knocked it out? I'm passionate about it, but what if I wake up one day and say, you know what? I hate golf, which I do that when I'm playing anyway.
Mhm.
you know, After I hit that ball off to the side, I said, I hate golf. But but what happens when you lose your passion about something?
Well, what I would encourage people, if it's something that you've been passionate about all along and it changes, give it a little bit of time. Evaluate why you are there.
Hmm.
What got you to this point? Because a lot of times it really is about what we are feeding our internal self. What's going on? If it's just a general like, hey, I'm no longer interested in it, that's okay. It may be something else. There are some people who have several passions, and I always tell them, hey, if you can accomplish all of them, go for it. If you want to just focus on one, whatever that may be. And it's normal to get burnout.
Hmm.
In the therapeutic world, we refer to it, as burnout. I'm sure you do, I do. I know people who have been pastoring for, a long time, and they do an amazing job, but they come back and say, you know what, my heart is no longer in it. And I think it's important to be honest with yourself. If it's no longer there, then evaluate what's next for you.
Question. Waning passion. Our guest from yesterday, Minister Kim Richardson, said, loving waning passion because it happens. Does it happen? I don't. I'm asking you. You're the professional. I'm the student. I'm just asking the teacher some questions. Does that passion go away overnight, or does my passion for whether it's my job, a sport, what I love to do, relationships, does it gradually happen? That's point A. And point B, how do we recognize that my passion is starting to evade?
um I think it grows. I think passion is something that's on the inside of us even before we know it. We
Mhm.
know it, we feel it, we just may not be able to define it.
Okay.
I'll use me for an example. When I first started off in college, I remember, and my cousin that was just here, she was with me. And I remember being at her house, and I remember taking out a tablet, and I remember writing on that tablet that this is your coaching and consultation. We're going to do a consultation with you. This was before I knew anything about, I think this is before I knew anything about life coaching. This was years ago. I still have the document that I uploaded into the computer. I didn't realize that even then, before I even knew what coaching was, I had already been doing it. I just didn't know what it was. People just used to always tell me that you're so easy to talk to. You're this and that. And for me, that's like I just love doing it. I love listening to people. I love helping them.
Mhm.
And then it was over time that that passion, doors were open for me to be able to add that in. Although I wasn't a licensed coach, there were just moments and opportunities where I was coaching all along. So it developed. I think it's always there. And when you tap into it, you I think that God just aligns it where you get connected, and
Mhm.
it's like, wow, like I'm doing it. I'm living it. And
Mhm.
and people should be able to feel it. When people meet me, they, oh yeah, I know you a coach. I can tell.
Well, here's a, I don't know what to say. I don't want to use the term can of worms that I use all the time, but I want to get into this because we're talking about passion, and I'm going back to my analogy of golf. I'm playing a terrible round. I've never had a golf show before, so I'm having a terrible round, and I'm hitting the ball all over the place. And my first thought is, I'm having fun. I'm not hitting like I want to, but here's my thought: I paid to do this. I'm not going, I didn't go out here and play golf free. I paid, I sacrificed. So now I'm pouring out financially into a situation in which I'm not getting the results I want, and I could be doing something else with that money. What about sort of shifting gears? What about our mentality on giving toward our purpose or whatever during times like this, in which we're in what many would call a drought?
Very good question. Giving and sowing is one of the greatest opportunities to demonstrate the love of God. And just like I, referenced, earlier, sometimes we think it has to be so big. Your
Hmm.
giving can be whatever is laid on your heart. You don't have to compare, what the next person gave. Whatever has been laid on your heart, because whenever you are giving outside of yourself, you are opening up the doors for the favor and blessings to seek you out. There has not been one time my parents instilled in me from a young age the purpose of giving, sowing seed, and I'm living proof. And it's not hocus pocus. This is not no, hey, you do this because you it's returned in so many different ways. It may not always be monetary, but just the value that it adds to your life. So while you're adding value to other people's life, especially during a time like this of a pandemic where everybody's hands are like this because we
Right,
don't know the next thing that's happening,
right,
if we are willing to trust the process, if we're willing to trust, and if it's $5, if it's 50 cents, hey, do what you can and watch. I would challenge somebody, watch how it circles back.
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I was kind enough to change the color scheme on to match the Panthers for you and Minister Kim that's watching. I went on and hooked y'all up with the Panther colors. Not gonna stay on
Thank
there.
you.
It was
We
eagle green,
appreciate
but
it.
I'll go ahead and put the Panthers on there. um, Coach T, we hear the term life coach. My question is, can a life coach, is a life coach supposed to quote unquote fix my situation?
Oh no. Oh
Talk to us
no.
about that. About, you're supposed to fix it. I come to you for help. I'm going through a rough, difficult time. I want you to fix it. That's what you're supposed to fix it, aren't
Well, if I can ask you a question, and I think this will be ideal.
you? Okay.
So you mentioned that you are a football coach.
Hmm.
And so if one of your teammates come to you, if one of the players come to you and say, Coach, I can't do it. I can't throw this ball. Now, as the coach, do you now get out there and throw the ball for them? Or do you give them the tools and the skill to throw it?
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is the skills, the tools, and what with me, most of my coaching is up here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling him, you can do it. I know you know how to do it, or what have you. Um, like you said, trust the process and go out there and do it. But that's a good analogy, right? But
Yeah.
don't you think people think that your job is to fix it for me? When I
Oh,
leave, when I leave you and I'm still hitting the ball off to the side, it's your fault.
absolutely. And I make sure whenever I'm introducing new clients, to coaching, the first thing I let them know, this, this is not where you come to get fixed.
Hmm.
I believe as a coach, I believe and I know that we have everything that we need in life to be successful. We have all of the tools in us. you
Okay.
know, God is perfect and He made us, He created us. He
Mhm.
made no mistakes. So we have everything in us to be able to accomplish what we need to do. My goal is to pull it out of you so that you can see it and you can be inspired and encouraged, like, oh my God, I didn't know I could do that. Yeah, you can. It's been there. You just needed someone like you as the coach. They just needed you to be like, you can do it.
Mhm.
Young man, you can do it. Like, you gonna have to get out of your mind. You're gonna have to get out of whatever's going on, talk through whatever you need to talk through with them. But they get out there on that field and they perform. And it's no different, when it comes to life coaching. It's like, oh, you got it. I'm here to join this journey with you. And I let them know I don't have all the answers, but guess what? With the two of us, we can develop some dynamic solutions and you can go out here and win.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's powerful. Without getting into specifics to where we cross the line of confidentiality, what would you say is generally the greatest problem or issue that most people come to you with?
Um, just not knowing. They know that it's something that they're supposed to be doing. They just don't know.
Hmm.
They know it's something that they were created to do, and they've hit a brick wall. They feel like they're just living just to be living. And so when they get to that point, I love it because that means that they're ready to put it all in because they know that it's still life there. They
Hmm.
know that they don't want to just die without a purpose.
Right.
So I love it when they get to that point. It's like, yeah, that I can work with that.
Right. That's true. That's good. Do you see more people coming to you to define their purpose now that in the middle of this pandemic? Well, we're probably not in the middle, as it seems like we're coming out, going whatever. I don't know what's going on, or was it beforehand?
What I'm seeing now is a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty.
Hmm.
People just right when I thought I was getting ready to 2020 was it, right? 2020, we
Yes.
got 2020 vision. We get ready to go and save the world. And then the world said, hold on, not
You
quite.
didn't you didn't see this.
You didn't see this.
Right.
And we kind of miss what 2020 vision means, because 2020 is considered the standard vision of like you see everything. And
Hmm.
if you see everything, that means you see the good, bad, and the ugly. And so in this, I'm seeing more people coming with anxieties like, wait a minute, this threw me for a loop. And as a coach, it's our responsibility to say, hey, game on. We still gonna play. We might have to do it a different way, but guess what? Nothing stops. This show is going on anyway.
Wow. I think, wow. That was profound. I caught something in that. You said 2020 is standard, but we came in viewing it as if 2020 was something above normal. Oh, it's just routine. It's
It's
just
routine.
wow. I hadn't thought
Routine.
about that. I mean,
Mhm.
2020 isn't some supernatural X-ray vision. It's standard. Person
Standard.
with person with terrible vision, people always say, well, I need my glasses to drive. I need my glasses to read. And I'm like, I need mine to get up. I mean, but the only thing is that uh 20 even a person with poor vision, they only bring it up to normal 2020. And we
Yeah.
wow, that's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What do we do in time? What do you see us as a people? And when I say us as a people, I'm talking the human race. We know that we're battling with some racial tension, the things that are going on that went on this past week in Minneapolis and in your state of Georgia a few
Yes.
back in February. We're just seeing that there's heavy racial tension. We're going to be on here tomorrow, Dr. Gardner and Apostle Spears. We're going
Okay.
to be on here tomorrow talking about racial tension in America. What do you see? I come to you as a life coach and say, Coach, and I'm going to right now, I'm going to have a little 2-minute session with you. I come to you and I've seen a movie or I'm seeing something on CNN or NBC. And as an African American male, number one, I said this yesterday to I think it was yesterday or the day before, that I'm 6'2", 270 pounds. I'm a big man. I'm a huge man that with my height, my complexion, I have a driver's license that will probably state that I own a firearm because I have a concealed carry permit. I drive a silver Mustang. If I get pulled over, first thing I'm going to do is be terrified for my life because it's almost like they're itching. And I do know that all officers aren't bad. I have friends
Certainly.
that are police officers that we grew up together and I love them like brothers. But with the tension that's going on now, I come to you and I'm saying, Coach T, help me emotionally not to hate Caucasians, not to hate Hispanics, not to hate Asians, because from what I was told on the TV, the Chinese sent this virus over. So now I don't like Chinese people. I don't like white folk because they beat us up. I don't like Latinos because they're taking out. I don't like anyone. What do you say to calm people down during days like this?
My the first thing that I would say is that we have to take a step back because emotions can lead us down
Good point.
a very unfamiliar path, and emotions get in the way. We can sometimes react irrationally.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, as a human race, that's the first thing that we all have to remember, that we are all human. That
Mm-hmm.
means that we are all imperfect people. We all need certain key things in order to survive. Now, I will ask you, depending on how you want to do life, do you want to live life in peace or do you want to live life in this grudgingly way? And when I say that, it takes a lot of work to hate. It
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot of work to hate and be disgruntled. You wake up angry, you go to bed, and then that creates physical issues for us: stress, high blood pressure, hypertension, and all of that. So, if that's how you want to live, then keep on hating. But if
Mm-hmm.
you want to do life in peace, you're going to have to take a step back. And you got to ask yourself. Sometimes when they say you got to put yourself in a person's shoes, and as the human race, we have to begin to ask those key questions. How would you feel if the roles were reversed? How do you feel when you have been labeled as a result of something that other people may have done?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
nobody likes that. I don't like to be, coupled in with everybody. Don't assume that just because I match a certain demographic that's me.
Right.
Because now you have taken away my freedom as an individual to show you. And so when we operate from that standpoint and recognize that everybody don't hate you because of the color of your skin.
Right.
Everybody is
Right.
not, living foul out here. These are some individuals. This does not make up the entire world. And then after that, you got to keep the focus on you. I can only control what Coach T does.
Right.
I can't control what nobody else does. And if you are a person of faith, I'm going to send you over to the word. And I'm going to say, well, what does the word of God say? The word of God teaches us that the greatest of all commandments is to love,
That's it.
and not loving from the emotion, but loving from a place of obedience. Meaning that, you know what? I don't have to like you. We don't have to go for long walks on the beach. But guess what? If I see you in need and God tells me to do it, I got to do it.
Right.
That's what love is. It's not that emotion like we boyfriend, girlfriend, we in a
Mhm.
relationship. Because if that's the case, we ain't gonna like or love nobody.
Right.
Because that's the kind of love is contingent upon what you do make me happy and what I
Right.
do make you. No,
What have
this
you
is
done
that
for
love
me
of
lately?
obedience.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. How important is in a few minutes? I don't want to hold you all day because We can just keep talking. I love to talk. But how important is it? I know if I'm coming to you as a client, the number one thing I have to have when I come to you is trust. I have to trust you. How important is it to work on our trust? Uh, just trust issues. How you deal with a person that just has trust issues. I don't trust anyone.
Yeah. When it comes to, and especially when I have, you know, people who come into coaching who have been, you know, they have just been violated. They have had so many different situations where people have let them down. Um, for me, it's just about showing up. I'm gonna be consistent. And I
Hmm.
would challenge, anyway, when you're dealing with trust issues, first you got to make sure these are not those old tape recorders that's playing around in our head, bringing up old stuff, because our brain has the capacity to do that. It will remind you of something, it'll place us in. And it's like you gotta trust somebody, especially when it comes to developing healthy relationships, a coaching relationship. And so in the coaching process, I just show up. When I tell you we gonna be on at 1, I'm gonna be here waiting at 1, whether you there or not. When
Hmm.
I put my word out there, I'm gonna give it to you, and then I'm gonna also help you understand that everybody ain't gonna be consistent like that. But
That's
you
right.
have to be okay within yourself. You can't put that much trust in anything but God.
That's right.
So we gotta stop doing too much of that. It's like it's okay to trust with caution. It's
Mm.
okay if you don't put all your trust, because we're human, we're fallible, we're gonna fail.
You're gonna fall back into my arms, but you're gonna put that foot out just in case.
There you go.
But are we really trusting if we do that though?
Well, I think that we are. I think it's important to be wise, because I wouldn't put 100% trust in in no man again, because things happen.
Yeah.
And you could have the best intentions. We've seen it. You can make promises, but life happens. The pandemic showed up.
Right.
Nobody saw it coming,
Right.
and things had to adjust. So it's no different with humans. We can have the best of intentions, but when
Right.
it comes to trust, when we're looking at relationships and stuff, there are key things that we do have to pay attention to. If somebody continues to give you their word and they can never hold up, okay, we can't trust them,
Right.
because they've already proven to you that you can't trust them. I
That's it.
let you in my house. I left $100 bill over here. The $100 bill gone. Guess what? Can't trust you. Can't put you back in that place to trust you.
I'm a.
So I
I'm.
think we do have to be wise.
Well, we've been on here quite a long time, and before I give you the screen and let you have some words, I will tell you: you leave $100 near me, I'm going to get it. Go play golf with it. Buy an Eagles hat. I'm telling you now.
But you know what? I can trust you because you
Trust
already told me.
trust me when I say if you leave it, I'm gonna get it. Trust me. You leave it. That's that old North Philly hood rat coming out of me again.
Woo! Let me tell you, y'all brothers out there in Philly, I don't know about it. I know you in North Carolina, but you still from Philly.
They're still from Philly. Some of my old friends are on here watching now, right, Lewis brothers? Walt Lewis is watching. You know, the North. You leave $100, as we said in Philly. You leave a hundred, not 100. Leave
A
a
hundred.
hundred laying around. I'm gonna get it and play golf and eat me a cheesesteak with it.
Listen, well, at least bring something back for me. If you're gonna take it, just bring something back. Bring a
it,
Philly
it won't
steak
make
back
it
for
past.
me.
If I get a cheesesteak from Philly, it won't make it past Delaware. It will be gone.
Hey, I've heard all the raves, so I believe you.
It is exactly. It's up to the height. Listen, before you go, I want to give you the screen. If you want, to have some words to everyone out there, just tell us whatever it is that's on your heart. We want to hear from you before you go.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. This is Coach T, aka TaNesha. I have had the pleasure of being on today with Bishop Austin. What I would like to leave with you during this time of uncertainty, in the pandemic, where we don't really know where we are, we don't know if we should still, self quarantine, if we should continue social distancing, wear a mask, and all of that. What I encourage anyone who has the opportunity to view this show is to remember to be patient with others. And guess what? Be patient with yourself. Be easy with yourself, because everyone's heightened a little bit. Emotions are all over the place, and we want to remain safe during this time. love God, love people, love yourself, get whatever help and support that you need so that you can be your best self. And we are going to get through this. We've survived and overcome much greater than this. And the human race, we are a good race. Despite what we see happening in the news, everything that we have before us, every time we get a chance to wake up and God puts the breath of life in our body, it's a new day to experience His grace, His mercies, and to be able to give that to others. So be patient with yourself and be patient with others. We will win. We will get through this. Thank you so much, Bishop, for allowing me to join you today.
Thank you, my friend. Before she goes, I do want to challenge all of you that are watching this broadcast. As I say every day, make sure if it's on your heart to help us stay here so that we can have daily shows and have good guests in a quality environment with a wonderful setting like this. Please help us stay on the air. We're going to stay on. In fact, coming out of pocket myself, I'm going to do this for you. But if you want to join me, the Cash App, you can see it scrolling along the bottom of the screen real slow. Cash App. And I'm sure Minister Richardson and Coach T are going to get upset at my Cash App name. It is $Eagle Austin. That's right. It's not Panther. It is Eagle. It's not Falcon. It is Eagle Austin. And be a blessing to us. And as the woman of God said earlier, you'll see a return. Before she goes, I want to challenge you while she's here. Hit the share button. Tag someone. Tag your friend. Let them hear this word. Tag your enemies. Tag your cousin. Tag Ray Ray, Boo Man, Raquisha, all of these people, all of them. Peanut, all of them. Y'all know we got all these nicknames. Tag them all. Aunt Mer, not Mary. Aunt Mer. Tag Aunt Mer. Y'all know you got an Aunt Mer. Everybody, all y'all know you got an Aunt Mer. Everybody has an Aunt Mer somewhere. Big Mama. Y'all know Big Mama and them. Tag Big Mama and them. Let them see. Here's some encouraging and powerful words. All right. I appreciate you all today. Want to thank my guests for joining me today. And I always say every day before we leave, when you go to bed tonight, ask yourself a question. Did I look in the mirror and ask yourself today, did I work toward my purpose? Or did I waste another day? Don't waste another day, my friend. Thank you for joining us, Coach T. TaNesha Mcauley, thank you so much. I appreciate you. One question I got to ask you. Will you come back and see us again?
You better believe it if you would have me.
I definitely will. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much. Same to you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Listen, friends, I want to thank my guests and thank all of you for watching. This was I told you it was going to be good. I told you it was going to be good. I never dreamed that I'd have two back-to-back guests like I did with Minister Richardson and TaNesha Mcauley coming with us back-to-back days. We would just hit bombarded with some powerful dynamic speakers, some powerful dynamic women that came on to encourage us. I just feel inspired by both of their words, inspired by their comments, inspired by their drive and motivation. We're in this zone right now in which we're standing there looking at the water. The question is, as we stand and look at the water, what are you going to do? This was powerful today. What are you going to do? Are you going to stand there and cry over it and say, I'm not going to hit the ball. I'm just going to stand here and or are you going to step up there no matter which direction? Hopefully y'all forgot where I said the ball went. I think it went straight. I think if you ask me, it went straight. You ask my golf partner, it went off to the left, but whatever. I did not stand there and just cry. You have to take a swing in life. And that's what Coach T was telling us today. Take that swing in life. And even if you don't hit it straight, come right back and hit it the next time. There is a winner inside of you. Everything that you need, you possess it. You possess it. You didn't get it from your mama. You didn't get it from your daddy. You might have this outer appearance. As I mentioned about being adopted, I was adopted, and my biological mother, Florine Bright, who I love, who pushed me into life, and now is pushing me through life. The first thing she said to me a couple months ago, she said, boy, you look just like your daddy. I look like my daddy, but I got who I am from God. There are two ways you can look at life. I have what I have by nature or by nurture. However you live, you're at the pond, my friends. This situation, this scenario that we're living in right now, it has us right here at the pond looking, and either I'm going to swing or I'm going to stand there and freeze up. And you have too much in you to freeze up. You have too much ability in you. Don't get scared. Don't be afraid. Have faith in God. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your ability. Listen, I know what to do on the golf course. I know the stance. I know the position of the ball. I know everything. I know how to hold a club. But what happens is I have to stand up there and put all of these pieces into action. I need a strategic plan of action. I don't just need to stand there and think about, no, I need to get up there with my action plan. How do I come up with an action plan? Listen, I'm not going to hold you, but this is critical. When I step up to the golf to the tee to hit the ball, I know what to do. The reason why I know what to do, not because I just woke up, got out of the bed, and went out there and started swinging a golf club like a baseball. No, I had to have a golf coach who had to show me, you're doing this wrong. You need to try this. Not necessarily doing this wrong. I want to suggest to you, have you thought about trying it this way? Have you? I went to play golf in Florida a couple years ago, and I had a golf coach down there that we went to play, and he told me, he said, I can fix your swing in 10 minutes. And I said, let's do it. And we got on the course and I hit the ball, and he said, I was wrong. I can't fix it in 10 minutes. I said, how long is it going to take? He said, 10 seconds. I said, 10 seconds? He said, you're doing one thing that I would suggest for you to try differently. I tried and it hit the ball so straight. He was laughing. He said, oh, so now you're going to step back and look at it. Find your golf coach. No, find your life coach. Find someone that can look at you and say, you know what? I can't fix things for you, but I can recommend something that will help you. Trust them. Go forward. You have come too far. You've invested too much in life to just stand there and cry. These last couple days, you have been connected with two powerful women. Search them. Find them. TaNesha Mcauley, Kim Richardson. These two young ladies can help you. They will step back and observe you and say, you know what? I'm just recommending one thing that can help change your life. Trust them. You can do it. I know you can. And when you do it right, you'll start loving the game of life all over again. Don't give up on it. You've invested too much. I appreciate you, my friends. I love you, and there's nothing that you can ever do about it. And we'll be here tomorrow with Apostle Dr. Stephen Gardner. We'll be here with Apostle Ron Spears, and we're trying to get another guest to come on so that we can have a panel discussion how we can go forward during these difficult days. If you're like me and you've seen the videos of what happened in Minnesota, you are sick to your stomach. But listen, my friends, running around, looting, burning down your own city is not the answer. It is not. The only thing you do when you do that is you validate people's opinion of who you are. But we have to do something. We need someone to do something. Albert Einstein said that the world is a terrible place to live in, not because of the people that do evil, but because of the people that do nothing about it. We need to do something, whether it's us, whether it's the other side. We need to do something. Years ago, one of the greatest statements that was ever made was a question by the gentleman that I think started this whole issue. His name was Rodney King, and he said, why can't we all just get along? Let's get along. Let's love one another. Life is too short to be walking around with hatred and bitterness in our heart. That's what the coach is saying. I'll see you tomorrow right here. And again, did you work towards your purpose, or did you waste another day? God bless you. I love you. And there is absolutely nothing that you can do about it. We'll see you tomorrow.